I just wanted to say, what a day, right? I think this is the best day to talk about these topics. Before we start, I just want to do some housekeeping. This is an interview, a podcast, and one-on-one with Ivan on tech. And at the end of the session, we will have also a Q&A. So if you have any questions which you want to ask Ivan, then feel free to type it in the comment section, or you will be able also to ask him, because if you request to be a speaker, we will admit you and you can ask him. Today we are going to talk about the market, about what is happening. We will talk about how to find some undervalued assets, because we are just at the beginning, at the brink of a new bull run. At least we hope so. And I will try to find out as much as possible from Ivan, who is very experienced in this industry, how to find these hidden gems, how to find these undervalued assets. So without any further ado, please welcome my guest today, Ivan. Hi, Ivan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, guys. Good to be here. Can you hear me? Also, I'm new to the spaces. It's like my third space. I'm not very experienced. I'm more of a YouTube, as you
I
know.
can.
But it's working. You guys can hear?
Yes, yes, yes. Loud and clear. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Thank you for being here. And I think we can kick it off, right?
Let's do
So
it.
maybe if you could give us a brief intro about yourself, how would you characterize yourself in a few words?
Yeah, well, I've been in crypto since 2013. I really entered the space as a developer and been fascinating by crypto for these reasons. I want to know how you can have a currency without intermediaries. But of course, as for everyone, when you enter into the space, you become very addicted to this whole market. It's insane. There are new things every day, new opportunities every day, altcoins every day. There is something to do, something to learn, new technologies, new ways of making money, and it's been a rabbit hole. So I've been here for 10 plus years soon, but I really went full time crypto in 2017. And during the past 6 years, been only working with crypto. Some of you may know the Ivan on Tech YouTube channel, where we go live every day analyzing the market. And since 2021, we're also running Moralis, which is a data company, and that's where we have our Moralis Money product, which we use in order to find coins before they pump, which I hope to explain more and discuss more. But that's a short introduction. I started in the space as a dev. I'm a dev to begin with, but as everyone, I got bit by the market bug, and there is no such market as crypto, guys. It's insane. The opportunities here are crazy. There is no other market where the average Joe can make life-changing money in this fashion. There's no other market, and
With small
it's
capital, right?
fantastic to be here.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I actually remember you telling a story on your channel about working for Ericsson, maybe at 15 years old or something like
Exactly.
that.
Yes.
So that goes back a lot. Nice, nice. So I think first let's discuss about the market. I mean, today was a crazy day. When I woke up, Bitcoin was at 27 something, and I was so happy to see that in the green at 27,000, and now it's just below 30, something like that. What do you see right now on the market? Is this a fake out? Is this just a
No.
fake pump, or this is something you think which will hold? And I don't know. We are not going to create head and
No.
shoulders,
Listen.
and we are
Yeah, I
just
mean,
continue. So
the market have bottomed. I think the market have bottomed. Obviously, there is no certainty in the market, but most likely we have bottomed, because we do have inverse head and shoulders on the chart, and with most likelihood we will not do another bottom. But the bottom, as you know, it's at 15.5 or so. So we can still dump a lot and then not do another bottom. But the most important thing is that the market has bottomed, and the bears will not get another chance to buy cheap anytime soon, I think, because they've missed the boat, and Bitcoin normally punishes that when you are on the sidelines and you want to get back in, which many bears do right now. They still say it's a fake out, this and that. I don't think it's a fake out. I think that we're gonna catapult ourselves to 35, 38K in the near future, and this is based on the target of the inverse head and shoulders. So all in all, I think that the market has shown strength. We have dumped. So we pumped first to approximately 25k after the breakout from the lows. We pumped all the way to 25k, then we dumped, and we caught a support at approximately 20k and continued pumping all the way to 30. Now we dumped to approximately 27 and caught support, and we're keeping to the upside again. So I think it's another leg up, probably to 35 or so. Now, my opinion will change, of course, if we see the break of structure. If we start closing below 25, I will change my opinion. But this is my current scenario that I'm playing. And yeah, listen, this year it's a year of sideways. Basically, that I don't think we will create a new all-time high. We're gonna go between the low and the all-time high, and the real all-time highs will happen after the halving. And the halving, as you know, is in approximately 1 year. So while I'm super bullish, I don't think we're gonna do a new all-time high before the halving. This is kind of like 2019. If you go back and you check 2019 chart, it's a mid-cycle parabola, like in the middle between the bear and the bull market. We normally see a parabola. If you look at 2019, we went from 3k to like 15k. I think it's going to be very similar to that. The cycles, by the way, they're very similar. Many people try to play the cycles. They think that the cycles are different. In reality, cycles are super, super similar. It took 12 months from the peak to the bottom in the cycle, and it took 12 months from the peak to the bottom in the last cycle, and approximately 12 months in the cycle before that. So I'm a strong believer of the cycle theory, and I think it's playing out very nicely.
We are on time, you would say.
Right on time. And listen, it may change. As always with markets and trading, it's all about having a strategy and having invalidation. So that's why, by the way, I respect all bears. But what I don't understand is that when bears don't have an invalidation target. So it's totally fine to be a bear when you see that Bitcoin goes from 16k to 17k to 18k. It's totally fine if you're bearish. And it's totally okay if you think that we're gonna reject. But what is your invalidation? Because right now we are at 30 almost. And if you're still a bear, where is your theory invalidated? Is it at 40k? Like, where is it? Because too many bears that I see on Twitter and on YouTube, I don't hear their invalidation, but it's always important to have invalidation. So my invalidation for my bullish case would be if we go to 25 and we break below 25. Then I would say that the parabola has been broken. Then most likely we will just continue sideways in this range from 16 to 30 for the remaining of this year, basically until the halving. Let's see what's going to happen. But all in all, always have an invalidation, and that's what bears are missing. By the way, I love Capo. I think Capo is great, but I don't know did he say his invalidation?
Poor
like
Capo,
32, right? He
Capo.
said is his invalidation. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah. Poor Capo. To be honest, I start to feel sorry for him because I can just see so many people tweeting about him. So let's see if we hit his invalidation. Hope so. And yeah, I think this is a very good narrative. And I mean, that it's very good that we are kind of canceling this very popular narrative that every cycle of this time will be different. It turns out it might not be different. But before we go forward, let's touch just a bit on the macro as well, on the traditional finances, because I think that was one of the most popular topics that if everything starts to fall, banks like we do right now, today, First Republican Bank, right? Or yesterday, whatever it was, then Bitcoin will also just go with it, will just crash, and anything happens. And the other narrative was that Bitcoin only existed in a bull run, right? If we look back in the last 10 years, do you think this is a good show of strength, that Bitcoin can be a refugee or a store of value? And do you think that these last 3 months proved that yes, Bitcoin will be the digital gold, only with better price actions?
I have a unique view here because I have never seen anyone think in this fashion that I've concluded myself, the conclusion that I've come to. And I'm super bullish on Bitcoin because I cannot see how it will not play out to the upside for Bitcoin. Because let's say that we enter a recession. So, for example, the Fed, they continue to increase interest rates very aggressively. They go heavy on tightening. So they start creating a severe recession. is perfect for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is made for these situations. Bitcoin is made for the bank collapse. Bitcoin started to pump quite severely when the bank started to fall. Today, we do see First Republic Bank having big trouble. And what happens to Bitcoin? We pump. So I think Bitcoin has shown that we pump when TradFi has problems. But also, we pump when TradFi pumps, when stocks pump. So we pump in both directions, in both ways. Whatever the Fed does, either they increase rates or decrease rates, whether we enter recession or not, I'm bullish on Bitcoin in all those cases. I've never seen such a bet, such an insane bet on crypto that we have right now. I've never seen it in any market where whatever happens, you are still bullish. And I think the reason is because it is an insurance policy against everything else that's happening in TradFi. So whatever TradFi does, it's in such a bad situation that it's just going to get worse. It's in the Tzu Zwang. Do you know that saying? It's a saying in chess, Tzu Zwang, where you are in a position whatever you do is going to get worse. So TradFi is in such a position that whatever they do is going to get worse, whether they increase interest rate, decrease interest rate, it doesn't really matter because we're at the end of the currency cycle. You can follow Ray Dalio for that. Ray Dalio has brilliant articles, how currencies come and die. And at the end of the cycle, the central bank is losing the power. It doesn't matter what they do. The trust in the currency just disappears anyway. So that's why I think that Bitcoin is the perfect bet. I've never seen such a asymmetrical bet because whatever happens is going to be bullish for Bitcoin. Whatever happens to fiat is going to be bullish for Bitcoin. Even if stock market recovers, the TradFi system stabilizes, okay, perfect. Then stocks pump, Bitcoin pumps. If it doesn't stabilize, okay, perfect. Like we see right now, banks go under, Bitcoin still pumps. So let's see how it plays out. For me, it's a new way of thinking. And I haven't seen anyone else think in the same way. So that's I'm curious if maybe if you guys listening have any thoughts on that when we go into Q&A. But I don't see a losing scenario. The famous last words. What can go wrong? But it is like that. What can I say? It is like that. Whatever they do is still going to be bullish for Bitcoin.
Let's just say the reward is much higher than the risk.
Yes, exactly. It's all about risk reward.
Okay, I could talk about this all evening, to be honest, but we need to move forward because we have several more topics to discuss.
Okay.
Now, very short question. When alt season? I mean, now Bitcoin pumps. We could see some movements in the alt section as well, but I think what everyone is waiting for is the juicy 3-digit pumps per day for several alt seasons. So I don't know what is your strategy or what do you follow. I follow, for example, the Bitcoin dominance, obviously, to start to fall a bit with the price, with a stable price. But where do you think we are? In, let's say, to define or to find out when the alt season is coming, or how do you check? So, what is your strategy?
I mean, first and foremost, we have good returns in alts in all markets, depending on which alts you pick. For example, Radix has done insanely well. Render is doing insanely well. Injective is doing insanely well. So you can always find the good gems in whatever market. But like you say, this is not really the time to expect those 3-digit excess, which will come at some point. And they will come. Like the true altcoin season, most people who are only here since 2021 maybe haven't even experienced a real altcoin season. And I don't know when it's going to happen. It is just a matter of following the market and reacting to it. It's a bit reading the stars, like Maren is doing with the astrology. I don't know if you know this girl. She predicted the dump from 30 to 27. So maybe there's something to it. No, but listen, I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know that it will happen at some point. It can happen before the all-time high, like we saw with DeFi summer in 2020. So it can definitely happen at any point. The way I'm reasoning about it is that it's not here yet. So it's no need to go full degen yet into altcoins because the risk is just going to be way lower when altcoin season is here. The rewards are going to be way higher when the altcoin season is here. So this time I'm using to get familiar with all altcoin markets, all the different blockchains. Arbitrum, Optimism, ZK Sync, which is launching. We have so many new markets to learn, to get familiar with, to set up wallets in Cardano as well. And the most important thing is that you are prepared. You have all the wallets set up, you have all the exchanges, all the KYC done, all the infrastructure, because I feel that the problem many people have is that when altcoin season comes, they don't know how to play it. They don't even have a DEX wallet on some of the chains that where assets are doing well, or they don't know how to short or how to long on leverage exchanges, and then you simply miss all opportunities. So I would say use this time to prepare, to learn everything, learn all DEXs that go to DeFi Llama, see which DEXs have volume, and use all DEXs that have more than 50 million daily volumes. So you have hands-on experience in this industry. Because when things really start pumping, you gotta be fluent. You gotta be a crypto native, and not just using centralized exchanges, but actually using real decentralized exchanges. You need to know Solana, trade on Radix, trade everywhere. So you are aware.
Yeah.
So that's important. And I would use
Because
the time to
I
prepare.
just want Yeah, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to add here, because I think this is very important what you just said. I remember in 2021, in the alt season, when everything was pumping like crazy, that the centralized exchanges, they you couldn't use them. I mean, I think Uniswap was the only one which worked.
If you
and
didn't
it
know
was very
Uniswap, you missed
important.
the entire DeFi summer, and most people did not know Uniswap.
Yes.
So most people missed out on the gains.
Okay, we need to move forward because time is short, but I think we have like I already have 5 topics for the next Twitter Spaces.
Let's go.
Let's talk about these hidden gems, these undervalued assets, because this is the time, as you said, to find them. So we are just at the beginning. I think the train is in the station just waiting. So tell us, just looking back in the past, what is some of the gems which you found in 2020 which perform the best?
Yeah.
And maybe if you can share some techniques, how you find them.
Yeah.
How you found them then and how you find them these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a crazy market, last bull market. If you've been watching the channel, you know that, for example, we found the Polygon at a few cents. We got into ADA before it started to recover in the last bear market, and endless more. Trust Swap, another one. I see Jason listening, who is really into Trust Swap as well. So we've had a lot of success, and that's where we did see those 50x's, 70x's, 100x's, because actually it's not uncommon. That's the first mindset that most people need to learn. I think that in a bull market, good altcoins do approximately 50 to 70x. It's not uncommon. Those altcoins that are within their first cycle, they have that kind of performance. When I entered crypto, I did many mistakes when it comes to finding hidden gems, because as you remember, I entered as a developer. So I thought that, okay, let's look at the use cases, let's look at the technology. I thought that I would make money by being smart on the tech side. And what happened? Meme coins outperformed everything else. Dogecoin pumped like hell. All kinds of other stuff without use case, without good tech, did so well. It was insane. So approximately in 2019, that's where I started to shift my strategy from fundamentals to looking at what actually creates the price. And the price is created very simple. It's buyers versus sellers. So people buy it more than they sell. That's it. The use case is secondary, because if the use case is good and the use case actually drives demand, you can see it on chain. You can see if whales are buying, if liquidity is increasing, if the trading volume is increasing. So if there is a good use case, if you look on what actually creates the price, all the on-chain metrics, you will see it anyway. And if there is no use case, but the thing still pumps, like we saw Pepe in the past weeks, you will also see it on chain. So that's why the strategy for us has shifted massively when we saw that looking at the fundamentals and looking at the use case is a bit worthless. It's kind of looking at something that excludes a lot of opportunities for you. So instead of doing that, I'm all in on looking at supply and demand, looking at on-chain, who is buying, who is selling. And when I switched to the strategy in the beginning, it was a lot of manual work, looking at Etherscan, analyzing with the tools available. And it was a lot of time-consuming tasks in order to see what's actually happening on-chain. And that's where Moralis money came from, because we just thought one day, let's automate it. Let's create a table where you see which coins are growing in holders, in liquidity, in whales, in experienced buyers and buyers. And you can see different lists based on these filters. So you could, for example, on Moralis money, you can filter for all coins minted today, that have X amount of experienced buyers, Y amount of liquidity, and you can also set alerts so you never miss when new coins are minted and perform well. So that is the most important lesson, I think, for everyone to learn, that fundamentals are secondary and on-chain pumpamentals, if you will, are primary. And pumpamentals will also reflect the fundamentals. It's kind of like with technical analysis. When I was new to crypto, I never understood why some people, they love technical analysis so much, and they basically were saying that if I show you the chart, if you show me the chart, I'll show you the news. And from the beginning, I didn't really understand that, but now I do get it. I got it in 2019 when all kinds of stuff performed so well, and I was there sitting, looking at code, looking at fundamentals. But in reality, looking at the chart, looking at on-chain, looking at who is buying, is there actual demand? That's the number one thing. And then, of course, I mean, some of these coins, they will have real fundamentals as well, and they will lead to long-term appreciation and long-term projects. But opportunities are way more than that, and I think that's the biggest lesson for finding undervalued altcoins.
Nice. Yeah. It's interesting how everything is getting automatized. I think that is also the progress of the technology, right, and of the space. Now, you mentioned Moralis money. I also checked it. I also have a user on there. Do you think you need lots of filters, or you recommend using only a couple of filters? How complicated is the setup for you when you are looking for undervalued assets?
It can be very simple. I think everyone who is new to finding gems should start simple. Just go there and use the coin age filter, so you can see all altcoins minted in the last, let's say, 60 days. And just use it with simple filters, so you get into it. But the beauty of Moralis money and the way it's built is that you can make it endlessly complex. And I think that's very important, because at the end of the day, you want to find your own strategies. You want to find alpha that other people don't find. So that's why you can make it infinitely complex with different time frames, with different filter combinations, with looking at different blockchains, and so on and so forth. So our goal has always been that when you start, it's easy, and if you want to make it complex, you can make it as complex as you want, because that's how I find altcoins, and that's how our team operates as well. That we always want to do something that most people don't do. We want to have an edge in the market, and for that, you need to be able to find your own path and your own strategy. That's why whenever some people ask me, "Hey, Ivan, why don't you just publish a list of coins, and so we can just see a list of coins?" But it doesn't make sense, because it's no alpha. Like, alpha by definition is something that other people don't know. Alpha by definition is when you have some kind of realization that the market doesn't have yet. So that's why I think it's key to start simple, to get a feel for the market, to get a feel for the tool, get a feel for the different blockchains and how the different metrics differ between different blockchains. But you will see, if you use the tool on ETH or on Polygon or on Binance Chain, you will see that they are different. The behavior on Binance Chain is different than Polygon, and is different to ETH. There are, for example, way more scams on Binance Chain and random projects popping up, while on Polygon you do see fewer projects, but a bit more quality. And ETH, of course, is the most quality. And then you can try Optimism, Arbitrum. We're going to add Solana soon as well. But the most important thing for us is that you see what happens on chain before it is on Twitter, before it is on CoinGecko. Because when something is already trending on CoinGecko, it's too late. When something is already being discussed heavily on Twitter, it's too late. We want to see when whales are accumulating in real time and get alerts. We want to see when there is real demand on chain, people really buying and accumulating before anyone else. And the only way to know it before anyone else is to monitor the blockchain. The blockchain is open financial infra. We all have it open to us. Just look at it, and that's what you do with the Moralis money. And most people don't do it. That's why it's I think a massive edge if you learn it and you understand it. Then another important thing to keep in mind is to use the security score filter, which we have on Moralis money as one of the filters. It's very important, because, as I mentioned, there are a lot of rug pulls And a way to avoid it is to use the security score, which is a score that analyzes the code, it analyzes the different metrics, and it decreases the risk of getting rugged. And we use the Dex tools score for that, the Dex score. So these guys are very good at scoring different contracts. So use that and try it out. That's the most important thing, that you have the tools and the experience and the feeling for the market.
And pay a lot of attention to the left bar. Check if there is tax, if they can change the contract, and all that. I think I remember from one of your YouTube videos that everything should be green. If there is a red,
it depends on the risk profile.
Flag.
Exactly, but it depends. So if you want to learn, you can also go to YouTube and search Moralis money tutorial, and there you're gonna see a tutorial how to use it. But I think it depends on your risk profile, because if everything is green, you will not be the first one to buy it. A lot of altcoins they mint, they don't really have good score yet. For example, they may have a sell and buy tags because they protect against bots. Many altcoins do that when they launch. You have a buy and sell tags because you don't want the bots to basically come in and pump the price and then dump on your community. And it does mean that the project is bad. They remove the tags later on in many cases. And so the Dex score may be bad for a while and then it becomes good. But it's all about your risk profile. If you want to be super early, you need to be okay with lower security score, but then you may also get right. So as always, it's risk and reward. But when we are looking at this newly minted coins, the risk by definition is higher. It is higher than looking at CoinGecko. But that's the whole idea. That's the whole point, that you want to be before CoinGecko. Something is trending on CoinGecko before Twitter. It's a massively bigger return and bigger risk.
Do you have any favorite chains? You mentioned that there is obviously Ethereum, Binance, Matic, but there is also Arbitrum, Optimism on Moralis Money. Based on the experience, since Moralis Money launched, do you have any favorite chain which you scan more, maybe, for new gems?
Yeah, I use all chains because there are opportunities on all chains. And the most important thing is to do what most people are not doing. So if most people still are not on Optimism, I'm very interested in that. Or still not on Arbitrum, I'm very interested in that as well. So as you learn the tool, definitely try different chains. And we're working on adding new chains all the time because I want to expand to other chains. I want to use more chains, and I want, before the bull market, our plan is to have most chains that have at least 50 million in volume, in daily volume. So we still have some work to do. We need to add Solana and so on and so forth. But everyone is starting on ETH, but everyone is also looking on ETH. So everyone who is new, they will be looking at ETH, but it's also more known. Like the new coins will be monitored by more people. So that's why it comes back to what I said before. The more you combine different filters, different chains, the more you can create your own strategy that is unique to you, and the more of an edge you'll have in the market.
Okay, thanks. So just for the audience, we are approaching my last question. After this, the Q&A will be open. So if you have a question, just request to be a speaker or type it in the comment, because we are going to take 3 questions. Ivan, considering the attack on altcoins, on crypto, mainly in the US, do you think that what we see now as altcoins will stay the same for a longer period of time? Or do you think that we can expect bigger, maybe structural change or financial change in the altcoins section?
Well, I think that it's important that altcoins are really decentralized. That's the biggest issue that I see on the horizon. A lot of projects are not super decentralized. We have this decentralization theater, as some people call it. And you can follow Chris Blake for that. He's having some interesting reports on different layer 2s, different projects on layer 1s, how well decentralized they are. Because if something is decentralized, nothing will happen to it. Then no regulator will touch it because they cannot. And when they cannot do anything, they just say that they never wanted to. Just like with Bitcoin, they cannot regulate Bitcoin, so they say that it's a commodity and they never wanted to regulate it. So that's what you want. You want to be fully decentralized. And I think that with time, more and more projects will be forced to be fully decentralized. And what we're seeing right now in the US with the regulatory push, I think is going to push us towards decentralization, which is good because many projects are not really decentralized, although they're calling themselves decentralized. Overall, I think that it is not going to be substantial, the regulatory FUD, because number one is that Gary Gensler himself has said that 3/4 of all altcoins are not securities when he was preaching at MIT. So
yeah, that just surfaced.
yeah, I mean, how can he go after exchanges and other market participants and say that we should have known about this altcoins being securities when he himself did not know? I don't know how that will hold up in court. Let's see. But number two also is that a big threat has been that ETH may be a security. But I heard an interesting interview on Crypto Banter where one of the lawyers who works a lot with these crypto cases explained that it cannot no longer be, they cannot go after Vitalik and Ethereum Foundation anymore because the statute of limitations has already passed. And that's why most likely they cannot do anything with ETH at this point. They can still say that if you're an exchange, you cannot trade it. So maybe they'll do that. But most likely it is, they are keeping uncertainties so that they can still have an oversight of the market and that they still have the opportunity to go after projects in this market. Because if they say that ETH is not a security, then everyone will say that we are like ETH, and everyone will be now it's way more difficult for SEC to go after real scams and other projects. So on the big picture, I think that this bull market will continue regardless of what happens on the regulatory front, and then the big shift may happen if Ripple wins their lawsuit, because then we will really have a confirmation that these regulatory fears are overblown. So let's see what's going to happen. Worst case, but listen, also, we've been without the US for the past maybe 5 years already. If you are an American citizen, you cannot do anything in crypto in terms of being in new coins or using a DEX. I don't know if you can use OneInch, for example. I think OneInch already bans everyone in the US. I don't know if you can use Uniswap even without a VPN. So that's why I don't know if something will even happen, because we have been without the US already since like 5 years. So I don't think it will matter.
Yeah, and for example, I just saw that Raiffeisen, the Austrian Raiffeisen, is going to start to offer crypto trading platform or services,
Right.
And I think the banks just see that and they will start to make money, and people see that how restricted they are. So I think that that the only way is in a better way for crypto in the US, because they are too limited.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And if you are listening from the US, you should go to Coinbase website, and you should go to Google, and then you should search Coinbase politician profile, and that will bring up a website where you can search your local politician and see if they are pro or anti-crypto, so you know who to support. Because what Coinbase is doing is quite nice. They are creating a political force in the US that is pro-crypto, and you can support it if you go to their website. So you can just Google Coinbase politician profile, and you'll find the website.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Okay, that was my final question. I see one request for a question. Mikey, Mishi, sorry for butchering your name. So I'm gonna admit you, and feel free to ask your question at the speaker. Okay, now you should be a speaker. It's connecting. Okay, you have to unmute yourself, and feel free to ask your question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Ivan. I'm your fan here in the Philippines.
Good to hear. Hello.
We're looking forward to see you here in the Philippines if you have like chance to visit us here, because we have a group of developers here that wanna see you. Yeah. Also
Awesome.
the growing rates of adoption of cryptocurrency, Web3. It's growing here in the
Awesome.
Philippines. Yeah. But we're
Yeah, I
not
would
in the
love to
top.
come someday.
We're not in the top 10 yet.
Awesome.
Maybe Ivan will go there for vacation.
Exactly. Sounds
You,
awesome.
you must visit NFT. You must visit Siargao. There is a project launch, NFT Siargao. If you get NFT, your stay in Siargao is already free.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
I have a question.
thank you.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
question.
please.
Because um what is your prediction for the prediction for the top two, Bitcoin and Ethereum, um before
You mean the
closing
top
this month?
prices of the cycle?
Yeah. Is it like
That's
bearish?
a tough one.
Bearish
Yeah.
or yeah, bearish
No,
or
I mean
bullish?
definitely bullish. We're not bearish here. No, but listen, I don't think in terms of price targets. I don't really have price targets. I just know that it's gonna go up a lot and it's gonna be super bullish.
Mm.
But whether it's gonna be 100K or 200, who knows? Instead, I'm looking at time and how long the cycles normally are. And if you extrapolate the cycles, you'll see that the top should be in September 2025, approximately. And that's my target for taking profits. I'll take profits a bit before, probably in June, July 2025. That's what I'm thinking, because when you look at Bitcoin, it's hard to say how hard it will go up, because we just saw a 3x from all-time high this time. So many people expected way higher. Many people expected 100K plus, and it didn't happen. But instead, if you looked at the cycle time, you saw that it was time to get out. So that's my strategy, at least. But how high it will go, I mean, who knows? We did a 3x approximately from the last peak, from 20K to 60, 70K. So maybe we're gonna do a bit less. Maybe we're gonna do to 120K in Bitcoin, maybe 110. But who knows? I have changed my strategy there, because I'm not looking at prices. Before I was trying to predict the price, but lately my strategy has shifted towards looking at time instead, because that historically has worked better. Just like we've been discussing at the start of the stream, the cycles are
Yeah.
playing out very accurately. It's 12 months from peak to bottom. The halving cycles work time and time again, although they theoretically should be priced in, but they're not priced in. So as long as that works, that is my strategy. So remember 2025 during the summer. That's when it's time to take profit, according to this extrapolation method.
When people are screaming for another
Oh yeah,
10x,
people will be
when
screaming.
everything is overheated.
Exactly, people will be saying that we're gonna go to 1 million and this and that. But I think before next year, so before March of 2024, we will not see new all-time highs, because it's still before the halving, and probably we're gonna be in this range between the low and 60K ish. But after March 2024, after the halving, that's when I expect us to go to all-time high, and then maybe go to 100K, 110K, and yeah, let's see how the market develops.
Okay, thanks, Ivan. Thank you for the question, BNB. Okay, I see a question here in the comment section. It's about, what about Pulse Chain? You are very bullish on Pulse Chain.
Pulse Chain. Well, I have sacrificed, so I hope it's gonna be bullish. No, but listen, like we've been discussing many times, there is one mode you can have as an EVM chain, and that's a community, because everything else is copyable. So at Moralis, we run a lot of infra. So for us to add a new blockchain to our infra, it's one line of code, and that's it. And if you are a developer using Moralis, you know that it's very simple as well to get into a new blockchain and to add a new blockchain to your project. So there's no real mode for EVM chains. Transaction cost and transaction speed, they don't matter, because everyone is fast and cheap. Look at Polygon and Binance Chain, Arbitrum, Optimism, like everything is super cheap and super fast. So you cannot compete with cheaper and faster. No one cares, because it's already everywhere, super cheap and fast. So the only thing you can compete on is the community. Do you have a crazy community that refuses to use anything else except your chain? So that's why I'm bullish on Pulse. That's my thesis for Pulse. And we will integrate the Pulse into Moralis Money, because I think that if you have missed the sacrifice stage, your biggest opportunity to make it massively in Pulse is to buy altcoins in that ecosystem. Buy altcoins before they pump, and be playing those ecosystem plays whenever new projects launch on Pulse Chain. That's how I would be playing it, and that's also how I will be playing it, although I have sacrificed as well. But it's been a long wait. Listen, it's been like 2 ways, 2 years of waiting for it. So I hope it's gonna be soon, maybe this week. That's my prediction anyway, but I may be wrong. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
guessing
saw.
here. I have no clue actually if it's gonna be this week.
Yeah, obviously, it's most of these things are speculations. We cannot know where the market will move in the future. We can only talk about based on statistics and what happened before, right? We don't see in the future. Okay, well, Ivan, thank you very much for being here. I think you shared some very valuable information. Everyone, check out Moralis Money because it's a very good tool. I can recommend it because I also use it. Again, Ivan, thank you for taking the time and thank you for sharing the info.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for listening and tuning in. Very appreciated. Bye-bye. See you all.
Yeah. See you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And Ivan said, don't forget that we have Twitter Spaces every week. Next week, there is a roundtable with my colleagues, Naini and Peter. And in 2 weeks, we will have another guest here on the Twitter Spaces podcast. Thank you again for tuning in, and I see you in 2 weeks.